Hello, we're in a lesson on the topic of Passover. We'll be reading select excerpts from the sources. We're on the subtitle Exile to Redemption. We'll start on 129. Please, Rav.
Yes, this is indeed the most important point from exile to redemption, that we feel ourselves that we are so much in the exile that we can no longer remain in that it is pressuring us, that it simply doesn't let us live anymore. It strangles us, so that we must run away from this inner state of ours, of each and every one of us, and in the relations between us, between men and men, friend and friend. So that we just have to get rid of our ego that is holding us and doesn't allow us to connect to the friends and all of us together as one man with one heart. So that through this inner pressure towards each other, we will discover the entrance to the upper world. We will discover the Creator, who is hidden in such a way between us. This is what we want. And even though this desire is still weak, dormant, we don't quite discover it within us. However, nevertheless, we can talk about it, and bit by bit it will open up, and the heart will warm up, and the friends will come closer, and in this way, each one will truly feel that he is in a society that understands that rising above our ego, and in general above our bodies, so that we won't see faces and bodies, but rather desires, inner desires inside each and every one. And surely they are yearning to connect with everyone, above all the differences. And thus, we will reach a state where we will truly begin to come out of Egypt, meaning we will begin to leave our ego and all of the thoughts and forces and actions that distance us from each other, keep a distance, as they say, between us. And we begin to come closer more and more, and to that extent we begin to discover the Creator who is hidden between us. And in this way we will begin to advance towards the exit. This is called the exit from the exile to redemption. The difference between exile and redemption, between Gola and Geula, between these two words, is the letter Aleph, that implies the Creator for us. Aleph is Alufo Shel Olam, the champion of the world. This is what he is called. So let's try to begin to feel how much in the nearing between us, there truly in this pressure between us, that I want to pressure everyone in order to connect, in order to be with them as one man, with one heart. And I feel everyone also in this way, that they're doing whatever they can. And then between us, from this pressure, the Creator is revealed. Well, read it again, please.
Excerpt number 129. When he feels the exile, he cries out, "From the narrow place I have called on Ka, the Lord. Answer me in the wide expanse, Ka." Wide means expansive in chasadim, when the Creator helps him with the quality of chasadim, meaning gives him vessels of bestowal. This is regarded as emerging from the exile in Egypt and entering redemption, in that now he can work in order to bestow, because he already feels the importance of the greatness of the Creator, since he has vessels of bestowal, called equivalents of form. This is so because when the Creator gives him the expansion of the vessels of bestowal, the tzimtzum, the restriction and concealment are removed from him, which he had through the power of the control of the Klippa of Egypt with their questions and dominations. We will read excerpt number 130. We were slaves, and he delivered us. This means that specifically through these limitations, we will be able to emerge from exile. Precisely by seeing the changes and ascents and descents each time, by struggling, a place of prayer awakens. And then the words, "And the children of Israel sighed from the work, and their cry went up," comes true. If the exile is revealed in full, then begins the redemption. We will read it once more. 130 from RABASH. We were slaves, and he delivered us. This means that specifically through these limitations, we will be able to emerge from the exile. He wants to say that precisely by seeing the changes each time and the ascents and descents, by struggling, a place of prayer awakens. Then the words, "And the children of Israel sighed from the work, and their cry went up," comes true. If the exile is revealed in full, then begins redemption. We're going to move to excerpt number 131 now. It is known that there is no light without a kli. In other words, it is impossible to give something to someone by force, as it is known. It is known there's no coercion in spirituality. Therefore, when a person is afflicted and suffers pain and suffering from not being able to emerge from self-love and work only for the sake of the Creator, he cries out to the Creator to help and give him what he wants. That is, if the Creator gives him this, the ability to revoke his own authority and annul before the authority of the Creator, for he wants only the singular authority to be in the world, namely the authority of the Creator. This is his only salvation. This is considered that he has a kli and a need for the Creator to help him. This is the meaning of the words, "And God heard their groaning." That is, once they had a kli, which is a desire and need to have the ability to work for the sake of the Creator, then comes the time when God heard their groaning. meaning that then the redemption began, delivering them from under the affliction of Egypt.
So we will read 131 again. It is known that there is no light without a kli. In other words, it is impossible to give something to someone by force, as it is known that there is no coercion in spirituality. Therefore, when a person is afflicted and suffers pain and suffering from not being able to emerge from self-love and work only for the sake of the Creator, he cries out to the Creator to help him and give him what he wants. That is, if the Creator gives him this, the ability to revoke his own authority and annul before the authority of the Creator, because he wants the singular authority to be in the world, namely the authority of the Creator. This is his only salvation. This is considered that he has a kli and a need for the Creator's help. This is the meaning of the words, and God heard their groaning. That is, once they had a kli, which is a desire and a need to have the ability to work for the sake of the Creator, then comes the time when God heard their groaning, meaning that then the redemption began, delivering them from under the afflictions of Egypt.
This means that until a person, how should we say this? Well, until a person feels that he wants to nullify before the Creator through the 10 in all that he has, then he's not yet under the control of the Creator, but rather under the control of his will to receive. And he is still in Egypt. Questions?
Moshe,
read it again.
Okay, I'll read it again. 131. It is known that there is no light without a kli. In other words, it is impossible to give something to someone by force, as it is known that there is no coercion in spirituality. Therefore, when a person is afflicted and suffers pain and suffering from not being able to emerge from self-love and work only for the sake of the Creator, he cries out to the Creator to help and give him what he wants. That is, if the Creator gives him this, the ability to revoke his own authority and annul before the authority of the Creator, because he wants only the singular authority to be in the world, namely the authority of the Creator. This is his only salvation. This is considered that he has a kli and a need for the Creator's help. This is the meaning of the words, and God heard their groaning. That is, once they had a kli, which is a desire and need to have the ability to work for the sake of the Creator, then comes the time when God heard their groaning, meaning that then the redemption began, delivering them from under the afflictions of Egypt.
Киев 1.
Дорогой Раф, а что это такое, когда
Rav, what is the state where you surrender to the authority of the Creator and you want only the single authority to rule in the world? What is this state when the Creator's authority actually exists?
Where you nullify your egoism. It's like you're not listening to it.
You are seemingly incorporated in the Creator through the 10, and there is nothing that can hinder you on your part.
Let's say the fact that I'm under the governance of the desire to bestow, the Creator, then by that I'm not under the control of Pharaoh. My ego at that point does not control me.
Я очень извиняюсь. Любая молитва должна сопровождаться словами «помоги» и...
My apologies. Should every prayer be with such words as "help me" or "help us"?
Yes. Okay. None for the time being. No questions? Yes, Moshe.
There's Mac 4 and also in the study hall.
Yes, please.
According to what is written in the excerpt, we should feel that we learn that we can't feel one thing without the other. So if I want to exit self-love, I have to feel where I'm exiting to. I have to feel something that from which I want to exit. Otherwise, how can I feel that I'm stuck in the ego? How do we come to feel the authority of the Creator so we can annul before Him? So we will want to annul before Him, but can't. How do we come to this feeling?
שליטת הרצון לקבל על עצמך, במידה הזאת אתה מתאר לעצמך איך אתה...
To the extent you want to annul the rule of Pharaoh, the rule of the will to receive for yourself, you can imagine to yourself what it is like to be under the rule of another force. That's the Creator, the will to bestow.
According to what you're saying, Rav, first I have to feel that I'm in self-love, to feel Pharaoh.
You begin to feel that you are in self-love under the dominion of Pharaoh and that you don't want to be in it, in that feeling, and you want to come out from under that authority, and in place of that to take on the authority of the Creator, to have a desire to bestow love of others.
So here, the cause and consequence, according to what we learn in general, I cannot feel my ego without wanting something outside of it.
Correct.
And in the Exodus from Egypt, it says that they are trying, they want to bestow upon the Creator, they have a feeling toward it. They understand whom they want to please.
Yes, even before the Exodus from Egypt, they feel, to some extent, where are they coming out to?
It really feels like without this I have no Egypt. I have no feeling that...
You don't have the complete feeling when you are in exile.
So I can be a little less confused. Is our work to strengthen the feeling of the Creator, meaning the feeling of the Creator in the 10, and from this we'll begin to feel what comes out of it?
Of course.
Thank you.
That's it. No more questions. Where are we, Moshe?
Excerpt 132. We have a question from Bulgaria.
לא שומעים.
У меня такой вопрос.
Can hear you.
Кто приводит человека к группу? Творец или фараон?
Who brings a person to the group? The Creator or Pharaoh?
I don't hear well. Repeat, please.
Приводит человек к группу Творец или фараон?
Who brings a person to the group? Pharaoh or the Creator?
אני לא יכול להגיד. אני חושב שזה...
I can't say. I think it's one and the same. It's the same force that's operating on us on both sides. He pulls us out or he pushes us in. It's the same upper force, which we refer to both ways. It's hard to say. In a sense, it says that Pharaoh brought them closer to the exodus from Egypt, and it's Pharaoh who did all the work.
עוד משה.
More Moshe.
Yeah, we have a question from the hall. Rav is talking about, he says there is no light without a vessel and there's no coercion in spirituality.
Yes.
Toward the ego, it seems like everything is by coercion. So how can a person tell himself that there's no coercion in spirituality?
No coercion in spirituality is when we come out to spirituality and we acquire spiritual forces, then we begin to understand that in spirituality, true spirituality, there is no coercion. For the time being, we are managed by these two forces, plus and minus, force of reception, force of bestowal, that work on us intermittently, and that's how we advance.
יש לנו Woman Europe. No, Madam.
Yeah. It's my intention to exit Egypt sufficient to bring redemption, even when I feel I am in Egypt.
כן.
Yes, it's enough.
טוב, אז אנחנו נמשיך. כן, משה.
עוד שאלה באולם, רב.
בבקשה, בבקשה.
מיכאל.
Another question in the hall.
Go ahead.
In Egypt, do we discover the Creator, the greatness of the Creator, or the need for the Creator? Is there such a discernment?
It's both. We discover the greatness of the Creator, that His glory fills the earth, and the need for it. Yeah.
זהו. אתה רוצה לקרוא עוד אחד?
You want to read another one?
Yeah, 132. If a person is placed under this rule, like the nations of the world, then he is in exile, and then he is regarded as an idol worshipper. And then there is room for prayer that the Creator will help him out of his exile. And then it can be said, now, meaning once he is in exile and regarded as an idol worshipper, it can be said, now the Creator has brought us closer to His work, meaning to work in the work of the Creator and to not work for the governance of idol worshipping. This is called the Exodus from Egypt, when all the works are for the Creator. For this reason, we relate the commandments to the memory of the Exodus from Egypt. Only then, once we have come out of the exile in Egypt, can we keep the commandments because of the Creator's commandment and not for other reasons.
Meaning, before we come out of Egypt, come out from under the rule of Pharaoh or our ego, we cannot keep any of the commandments, meaning the connection between us and the Creator. You cannot keep that. Therefore, everything depends on how quickly can we come out from under the rule of our will to receive and into the will to bestow. That's it.
In these times so uncertain, what are we thinking of? Is the world going crazy, or is he sending love? Could it be that his message just goes over our heads, leaving us with the feeling of confusion instead? Alone I am blind, together we see, we need one another to truly be free. Alone I am blind, together we see, we need one another to truly be free.
Can this world be perceived through uniting desires? Is his message received? In this time more than ever, there's a call to unite above all the chaos and turn darkness to light. Alone I am blind, together we see, we need one another.